Hey George, this is Joel. It's great to see you for this lesson. Here's the big deal, right? There's the better setup over here on our right on the new blue. And all you did was raise your hands and flex your knees a little bit. Remember, I'd want you for the next week or two or three maybe to take your old setup over here on the left on the old gold. And then from there just make that adjustment where you raise your hands at address and then flex your knees a little bit. Because what we know is, then at impact, you won't be pulling away from it near as much through the downswing. As you see over here on our left, like you said, you always tend to pull away from it. You tend to have your hips come in toward the ball too much. And like I said, starting out in our lesson, that's a pretty good setup right there, instead of that. So I wanted you to get into that kind of a setup position over here, and then when you get back to your impact position, it'll be about the same. And it'll tend to be more consistent in many ways as time goes by, as you get used to it this year. And there, that downswing, the club head's beautifully on plane, as opposed to this downswing over here. It's a much better looking shaft over there on the new blue as well. So let me just take you through these various swings that we saw. So this is the first swing from that down the line angle. Now here's this first swing from the face on angle. And then here's where we started working on it. Altered that setup from the down the line angle. That's how much better it started looking right away, George. Beautiful. Mucho bettero. So I'm just taking you through these swings now chronologically through our lesson. That's your heavy club. That's you hitting a ball with your heavy club. Yes, that looks pretty neat there, man. So a lot of good things going on there, George. It's great to see you, great to hang with you, man.
This is Joel Suggs. I sure enjoyed meeting you down at the Cincinnati Golf Show this weekend and showing you your swing on the 2D equipment that I have. And so I want to take about 2 or 3 minutes to just show you around Meadowlink. This is the studio I use in the winter for all my students. You see there's the down-the-line camera angle for our 2D equipment, and then we have the face-on camera angle also, and then what we also have here is 3D equipment to where I can show you your swing from 6 different camera angles with this 3D equipment, and we can get your swing from down to the 1/120th of a second in terms of exactly what your hips, shoulders, and hands are doing in the swing. And then also, I have the most realistic hitting curve I've ever seen from puttersedge.com. So when you hit your full shot, it feels as realistic as possible. And then I have 3 different green speeds for you to practice your putting. 9.5 on the step meter, 10.5 on the step meter, and 12.5 on the step meter. That's benefited my students tremendously. And then also I have a lot of learning aids like this Smart Stick. You can see the rest of those learning aids over here in my bag that we can work on to help you learn the certain fields in your golf swing that you and I both want. And then also I help my students a lot with their equipment through the winter. This is a frequency analyzer where we twang your club and it gives us a reading here. And then also we plot your whole set, each club on these lines to see if the set is really matched or not. Quite often they aren't, and it helps my students tremendously when they find out what clubs are the offending clubs. And then if we get tired of being indoors and we want to go outdoors and hit some, we can do that. It's my daughter. Ellie, good to see you. I haven't seen her in weeks. No wonder you've been gone, Ellie. You've been out here playing in the snow all this time. But this is our natural turf area. This is closed until April, as you can see. But it's a fantastic area where we can step outside and hit some balls and get some real ball flight. Or, if we get pretty satisfied and things are looking better on the video here, we're kind of cooped up inside and want to go outside, we can step on out and hit balls and see real ball flight for about 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, however long you and I can stand the cold, out into the air, and we see them land at these different flags. I have a yardage book for this driving range. It's the first one I've ever seen in my life, where we know exactly what it is to the front, back, and middle of each green. And again, the covered area here is heated, so we stay out there for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, like I said. It enables us to see some ball flight, and then we get satisfied that things are looking the way we want, and we come back inside, take off our coat, and look again at the video equipment to see how your swing's looking, to make sure that you understand it. And then notice too, my exercise ball up top here, and then also, so I help my students a lot with their fitness through the winter, and then I will help you also with your sports psychology, with your golf psychology from the golfpsych.com people down in Texas. That's helped my students tremendously a lot over the years too. So again, I sure enjoyed meeting you down at the Cincinnati Golf Show this weekend. I look forward to seeing you again out here this summer at Meadowlinks, or even right now in the winter. I have a lot of people that work on their games with me right through the winter. Check out more information about the things I do to help you at joelsuggs.com. Take care.
Okay, now we're simply going to do a toe touch exercise. Put your feet together. Going to try to touch the floor. Go ahead. As you can see, we touch the floor. What do we normally see? See a lot of athletes go to about this point, that's it. Okay? And the reason they all come in and tell me, they say it's because their hamstrings are so tight, they can't touch their hamstrings or touch their toes. We simply put something in between their knees. Now squeeze your knees. There we go. When we do that, it basically engages the core, engages the hip and the hamstrings totally relax and allow that athlete to touch the floor. So it's not a hamstring problem, it's more of a hip hinging problem that we see.